Hello everybody, this is GVPI. We have a live broadcast of a lecture on the Haunted Hinsdale House. Enjoy.
Again, I'm Cameron, and this is Dan. We're with Paranormal Society. Originally, we do a show for Roku. It's an internet stream realm. Some of you probably heard it, some of you probably haven't, but we're on the Paranormal Reality TV channel. And a couple years ago, we investigated at the Hinsdale House. Well, our episode, we had so much crazy stuff going on. It was actually our two-part season finale for season 2. So we fell in love with the house immediately. Shortly after we were there, the ownership ended up going into bankruptcy or foreclosing, and really put to jeopardy. The house was in jeopardy of being torn down. Dan, I'm going to give you one of these because Dan stepped up and actually bought the house. So. There was 2 years where nobody was allowed in the house. They weren't letting paranormal investigators in the house, and it was just people were breaking in all the time, and it was really being, it was taking a fast road. It was in despair. So Dan really did save this house. And since the time it's got a new roof, it's got
new ceiling,
so. We have opened this back up to the public. It is available after we're done talking. If you want to come over to our table, we are doing ghost tours with our own ghost hunters there for the people that aren't, experienced. And then we also are booking private ghost hunts for your team or whoever you'd like to do. So, without any... I know a lot of you on faces because I've seen a lot of you guys come up and a lot of you had experiences in this house. Just so everybody else can see, how many of you have been to the Hinsdale House? A lot, yeah. And how many of you had experiences there that you couldn't explain? Everybody that was there? Yeah. Okay. So with the story of the Hinsdale House, really it is a story that goes back so far that we don't even have records for it. Apparently, way back when, 1700, that area was a stagecoach trail, okay? And the old legend about the Hinsdale House with the stagecoach trail is there was a guy who lived on that property who was basically a serial killer. He would rob the people on the stagecoach trail, and, because you're on a stagecoach trail, you're basically alone on that trail. There's nobody around you for a long stretch. So he'd find these people coming on the trail, he'd kill them, steal their stuff, and he'd bury their bodies in the basement or in the barn out back, okay? Just a side note, we did find a room in the basement that has been blocked off that we're going to be getting access to. So we don't know what's back there, but we will shortly.
Real quick though, just on a note, we're trying to get as much history on the house as we can, knowledgeable newspaper articles, anything that we can find out. I had recently spoke with Dan O'Brien. Now, the O'Briens owned the house from 1870 to 1973. Now, the last time this guy was there, he was a child. When he pulled up to the house, the first thing he said to me is, "Where's the rest of the road?" So we didn't really have any truth if this was a stagecoach trail or not, but my grandfather used to tell me stories about the stagecoaches that would go through up to the Wagner farm up the hill. So there's definitely the road ends at the house now, but it used to connect with the other farm up the hill. So just little things.
So this is the origins of the stories of the Haunted Hinsdale House and the serial killer, but nobody's ever had any proof. Nobody's found any bodies. There's no evidence to say this guy was doing what he was doing. It's just part of that legend. Moving forward, this is not legend. This is truth, all right? The Hinsdale hanging tree, all right? This is where they executed their prisoners in Hinsdale, okay? When somebody was put to public execution, they were hung on the hanging tree. It is on Hinsdale House property, right? It is right there. The tree itself doesn't exist anymore, but
parts of it are.
It is right there for everybody to see. Now, this article that we found, this is an article that's stating the last person that was hung there was a woman. Unfortunately, very sadly, during autopsy after the hanging, they found out she was pregnant. So pretty sad. So, we have just touched upon the history of these houses. So when you have all these things, plus the fact that this is very sacred, Seneca Indian land. Most of this area is. Anywhere, 100-mile stretch from Niagara Falls is considered Seneca Indian, very sacred land. Around the house is just as haunted as inside the house. All right, and there's different experience. I mean, this place is, there's no escape. But once you get on there and go down this road, it's hard pressed to turn around and get out there because there's just so much going on. Now, this is the article that really ties it all together. So you have all this haunted history, all these, talks of murder and, people being hanged on the property. There was a family in the 70s called the Dandys. Now, the Dandys moved there from Buffalo. They moved up to Hinsdale. They bought the house. Within 3 years, they moved out. All right. Basically, you want to talk the story because you know these people.
Yeah, I'm friends with the mother on Facebook. I've talked to her about her experiences. She's written 2 books about the house. Basically, her daughter became possessed with some type of demon. Her name was Laura. She eventually died. They performed a Father Bolt from St. Bonaventure University came to the house to perform an exorcism. She was cutting herself. She was there were things falling off the shelves in the house for the documents. I have letters from her to Father Bolt that I've gotten out of the archives. Just crazy things that you see on TV that you wouldn't really think could happen. None of that stuff happens now, but it seems the house has been blessed. The 4 corners of the house have been blessed by the Father. But basically, they came in, they filmed it. There's a film crew from New York City that came in to film the exorcism, and that's been lost.
Well, let me say that exorcism that was filmed, that was the first in history video recorded exorcism as on record. So we're going to be getting access to these old films probably by March. Okay, they're somewhere locked away in a safe in Maine. So we're going to be getting our hands on these for the next couple months. Now, like this piece of paper I just held up, this is what started it all. All right, this is for all of you that heard of the Hinsdale House and looking for this article, you probably never would have. All right, this was in the newspaper about the Dandy family and about how they were basically forced from their home by ghosts. This, according to them, was an everyday occurrence of physical interactions, bad luck, things, just everything you could imagine stacked on top of each other. They didn't want to be there anymore. So they did contact Father Trabolt. Now, Father Trabolt came in, and he wasn't just taking their word for it. Oh, it's ghosts. Father Trabolt came in, and he had his own experiences in the house.
Yeah, he actually witnessed, from what I've been told, he actually witnessed Laura on the bed rise off the bed, and that's when he knew it was serious. He was taking it very seriously. This is what he studied, parapsychology. He taught classes on it at St. Bonaventure University, so he took this case on, and he really didn't do much of that. It was very important for him to do that. Other things, too. Clara told me she always heard chanting outside at night, up in the hills. It kind of sounds like Indian. I've heard it. Yeah, you've heard it. And it's really weird. Up on the hill behind the house, there's Indian burial mounds from Seneca Indians. So there's actually dead bodies buried up in the hill.
The night that I heard the chanting, I'm not the type of person that's going to be like, oh, there's chanting, isn't that crazy? I went trying to find the chanting, all right? So I drove all the way around the town. I never could pinpoint where it was coming from. It always sounded like it was 50 yards down the hill, right around here. I was like, it's coming right from here. Now, I drove it all night long. I heard the chanting from different spots of this location, but I never could pinpoint where it was coming from. And yes, it is confirmed. There is Indian burial mounds right on that property. Okay.
This house is up on a hill in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Basically.
So just bad things just seem to happen there. There was another article that we were able to uncover about a student at Hinsdale House who was fatally struck by a buzzsaw in the backyard. things that we do know, fact-wise, there's a lot of people, unusually a large amount of people that have died on this property. And the Dandys were, experiencing things they couldn't explain. And a lot of these were contributing to the deaths, to the hanging tree, to the old stagecoach, to the Indians. They didn't know where it was coming from, and they were so scared. So Father Schbolt came in. He did this house exorcism, and it did seem to calm down for a while. And within a year, I think it started happening. I think it was a year's time, and they did move. They moved down south. They didn't want anything to do with it anymore. So the Hinsdale House, since that time, has been a local legend out there. I mean, Marines told me, another person told me, when you go there to investigate, there's about 12 cars, 15 cars that'll drive up through the night trying to check out the house and learn the history of the old haunted Hinsdale House. So it's a famous house, right? This haunting is, as far as Western New York hauntings, is up on the top of the list. Now, as far as more modern occurrences,
well, the Misniks were there, right? The Misniks, Joe and Flo Misniks actually lived in the house and they both died in 1983. She knew that there were spirits there. She said she had an understanding with them, and they both lived happily there until they died in 1983. I've talked to some people that had moved into the house in the 80s. The husband worked in Buffalo, and he was on the road a lot, but they would always get into arguments. Like, it just seemed like a negative would come out in them. She would often find her tires popped in the morning. There's nobody around. I don't know who would come up and pop her tires. To the point where when she was leaving, they left their stuff in the house because they wanted to get out of there. Like they were going to the store or something, just left and abandoned everything that they owned to leave the house.
We've investigated there a lot, all right? And I can tell you from my belief that I do believe that Laura Dandy is still there, the daughter who was possessed. I have photographs of her, apparition photographs of her, standing on the stairs, wearing a bell-bottom type 70s type pant. Okay, we have experiences with Flo Mishnik that are significant. Just from any paranormal investigator, if you've ever seen any paranormal show ever, you've seen like a K2 meter, right? These measure the electromagnetic fields, right? So basically, the craziest thing I've ever seen with a K2 meter, and you can say what you want, but you can't debunk what happened with Dan. Now, Dan is standing downstairs, all right, and he's communicating with his K2 meter. And it's going all the way up to red. Now, mind you,
No electricity.
there's no electricity in the house. We're out in the middle of nowhere, okay? So going all the way up to red, as soon as he starts talking to Flo Mishnik, so Flo's a nice old lady. She died of old age in the house, right? So Dan asks her kindly, is that you hold my hand and just go all the way up to red. So he asks her if she wants to go upstairs, and it goes all the way up to red. So as he's walking upstairs and through the house, it's pinned on red the whole time. Like, just, he's moving through the house. He's walking from the kitchen all the way up all the stairs, and then as soon as he gets upstairs to where a lot of the darker things were going on, it went away. It was crazy to me. It was just like he asked to do. It was like the Flo was holding his hand, joining him to go upstairs. So we do believe Flo's there. We do believe Laura's there. And we don't believe that inside the house has the negative effect that it used to have. We obviously think it's Flo and it's Laura. Now outside the house is probably more haunted than inside the house. And we had contributed this to a lot of these incidences, and mostly to the Indians, the Seneca Indians that were there. We had a guy on a ghost tour, a group tour, okay? He thought it was a good idea to go outside and pee on the side of the house in the dark, okay? Bad move, dude, all right? So he ended up getting attacked by whatever was there in front of 20 other people, and he took off, all right? This guy was talking crap, blah, 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 this bullshit, blah, he was drunk, whatever. takes a look on the side of the house. Within 20 minutes, he is hightailing it down the street. All right. So that's our point. This is ties to me. Brandon.
Brandon, when we were there for our first investigation.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Cameron thought it was a funny idea to bring a comedian to our investigation.
So the guy with the peanut inside the house, I believe that the American Indians, they didn't like that. All right, the land, they, if you're there and you are respectful to the house and to the land, you don't have a problem. All right, and if you are disrespectful to the land, throwing your cigarette butts on the ground, whatever, you're going to be in for the surprise because they don't like it when you do that stuff. What he was talking about was Brandon. This is actually really funny. So like I said, we do this television show. So we do bring on, different guests to join us on our paranormal investigations. And a local comedian, his name is Brandon Trusso. He's actually a pretty big local comedian. And we had him come out for our guest investigator. Brandon Trusso had heard in his ear, leave, right? So I don't know where he went, but all I know is I looked out the window and he's sprinting at full speed down the driveway to get to his car. And about an hour later, I get a text, man, sorry, man, I had to go. So I have had a lot of experiences here. Unexplained noises, unexplained EVPs. It's probably not the most significant for me to talk about. It's most significant to me. I was sleeping there one night. I was sleeping in the living room, and probably a room just as big as this. So I'm sitting somewhere like in the middle, and I wake up in the middle of the night and I hear this weird. It's like I can't explain it without saying it's like a tick, and it went all around the ceiling, and it's a huge ceiling, and it's going super fast and around the whole. And I'm like this, and I could never explain what that was. It scared me deeply. It scared me deeply that night. So, it's on top of countless other experiences that I've had. That one really comes to mind.
I just recently, like I said, I just recently spoke with O'Brien McMahon over there from 1878. Obviously, all this stuff happened. We have all this history from 1973 up, actually 1943, but nothing prior to that. So speaking of this family, kind of enlightened a lot of things now. In October, I had Nick Groff and Katrina Weidman. Of course, we filmed the show. There's going to be on Destination America in March called Paranormal Lockdown. We're getting these EVPs of the name Jonathan. It makes no sense, because we don't know. We only have the history up to 1943 and above. So finally, speaking with Dan O'Brien, who was there as a child, he says, Jonathan? I said, yeah. And I love listening to the EVP. And it said, Jonathan, I'm dead. I'm dead, right? He goes, that was my little brother. He died of cystic fibrosis. Just like little. So there's obviously a history before this exorcism happened. And this was a family home. Like, it was owned by the family from 1870 to 1973. I mean, obviously there has to be something there from that era as well. So it was just really a cool thing,
I find it funny whenever you're talking, just thinking in my head how many times this house has faced demolition and survived. It's almost like you can't kill this house. It really has. I mean, just in the time in the past 10 years, there's probably been, there's articles that are here. Where's the article that says they're going to knock it down? I mean, we have like 5 over here somewhere. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of articles the past 10 years. They're going to knock it down. They're going to knock it down. They never do. They never can. And something always happens and revives the house and brings it back to life. It's the house that will die. And you go out to where it is and you look around. It's the only house there. There's no other houses around anymore. All those ones have been torn down. So something behind the scenes, I have to believe, is keeping people going back there, keeping people interested in it, and obviously, people that are having experiences there, always go back. Because, your first experience, you always go back to see if you can explain it. It still stands for now.
When I got the house, the electrical was ripped out, and they had actually a date to do a bulldoze or a slow burn of it, or just going to tear it down. So luckily, I got my name in the hat before that happened. since I've gotten the house, it's touched so many people's lives in the Kernow community. I've had a day of caring a couple times this summer. I mean, it's a lot for me to take on. I have a lot of help. But I've had, at any given time, 50 people over at the house helping to paint, helping to put up wood, helping to do the roof. You know, I couldn't just pay for this all out of pocket. I mean, it's just a deposit for the house alone was enough to, I had just closed on my house for my family, and this one's like, you got to do this within this month. So I had to actually close on 2 houses in 2.5 weeks.
And these are the local people in Hinsdale, people that live 5-10 minutes from the house. As soon as Dan bought the house, they just, the whole town showed up.
We had the granddaughter of Flo and Joe Misness show up with her daughter to help me. And everybody came out of the woodwork, so it was really, really awesome. Like you said, we've got a new roof. If you read Clara Dandy's books, there was bees that they always talked about that were in the house. They were still there when I bought it. There was, and to the point there was about 400,000 bees with a 4-foot colony into the floorboards of this house. So, you know, I had those taken out, and I moved to a bee farm, and that was pretty costly. But that had to be done just because we're going to have people on the land. You know, if somebody's allergic to bees, something like that. You don't want to have a lawsuit because of the bee sting. So.
Plus, it's hard to do EVPs and you have the whole walls buzzing.
There was black mold, leaky roof in the kitchen, so we had to have that all removed. We got a new kitchen ceiling put in, brand new doors, new windows we had coming in the spring. We've had to bar all the windows up so people can't break in anymore. The door security system. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount that we got done in less than a year.
Yeah, and that's a problem with, you know, like I said, with any famous haunting, you know, there's curious people, and the Hinsdale High School is just down the street. So, you know, for as long as Dan's had the house, it's been an ongoing battle to try to keep people from breaking into the house. So, Dan went out and bought these, you know, rebar, bars, the whole 9 doors are all blocked. He's taken it as a personal challenge. So he's got a security system that's going in. He's got a trail cam on the street, so catch your license plate if you're driving in. So we're done with the BS from the kids. You know, we respect the house. We want the house to thrive especially in the paranormal community because, like I said, this is one of our first team. You know, one of our first shows that we filmed was at the Hinsdale House, and this was years ago. And really, a lot of our success we can contribute to going back to the stuff that we captured in Hinsdale. And those experiences for us, we want to share those with other people. We want other people to have those experiences. And I'm going to tell you now, all of my friends and family growing up never thought I'd be a ghost hunter. Like the furthest thing from it. You would have caught me 5 years ago, and been the guy at the end of the bar, 4 o'clock in the morning, closing up the joint, right? When I had these experiences, it changed my life for the better. You know, I don't go out drinking anymore. I got new friends. We go out ghost hunting because I get that adrenaline rush. You know, I feel like my life has some sort of meaning even after I leave this realm. You know, it hasn't answered questions, but it basically sparked a million more questions that I have, and I have this undying, just unwavering sense of trying to figure more out. I need to know more. I'm thirsty for more, and